An alarm system for a flat. Is it needed at all? If so, what will work best? You'll find out in today's episode. You own a flat in a block of flats, or maybe you're a tenant. Are you thinking about whether your flat needs extra protection in the form of an alarm system? Detached houses, surely, but flats? Well, globally, millions of residential burglaries are recorded each year. According to the latest known statistics, in the European Union alone, police record over 1.2 million burglaries annually involving residential properties, both houses and apartments. So, if you ask me if an alarm system is needed also in apartments, I say very much so. Installing an effective alarm system in a flat is a rational and justified security measure. That's why I've compiled the most important information about what to consider when choosing an alarm system for your flat. Every flat is different, and at the end of the decision-making process, a number of individual factors come into play that determine the final choice. However, there's a way to make this final choice easier. What is it? I'll tell you at the end of the episode. For now, we'll focus on the principles that are common to all situations. I'll give you some tips on what questions to ask yourself and what to think about at the outset to make the right choice in the end. Let's start with what's most important, the specific nature of the building itself. What's the current stage of construction or finishing of your flat? If you can run cables in the walls, a great solution would be to choose wired devices and a hybrid control panel, one to which you can connect both wired and wireless devices. This will leave you the option to freely expand the system in the future, and what is important, without chiseling walls and renovations. If the flat's already finished or bought from the secondary market and you don't want to do a complete renovation, then just go for wireless devices. The first and most important thing is done. We've chosen the type of system. So let's go on. Which specific system to choose? What brand? After all, the market offers great many options. Well, it's important to choose a system from a proven manufacturer. Experience, advanced manufacturing and testing procedures, high-quality standards, compliance with legal regulations. All of these are very important factors in the case of alarm systems. All these elements, together with a long service life of the devices, free updates and a wide range of functions, affect both the value and price of such a system. Therefore, believe me, it's not always worth basing your choice on price, because in this case, you may be better off spending more. After all, it's an investment in safety for many years to come. What's more, with solutions from proven manufacturers such as Polish SATEL, you'll easily find an installer who will install and configure such a system for you. And they'll do it well, as they've worked with our system for years, completed training, and know exactly what to do. Another key point is the day-to-day control of the system. Today's alarm solutions, both wired and wireless, combine local and remote operation modes. When it comes to Integra, Perfecta 64M or B-Wave, you can control the system locally using keypads and keyboards or remotely with a dedicated app. However, it's a good idea to pay attention not only to the availability of these options, but above all to what possibilities the selected control system offers. Is the interface intuitive? Does it offer convenient editing of system settings and configurations? Does it allow you to freely grant rights and determine their scope to other users? To what extent can you personalize views and adapt them to your needs? Take a look at the B-Wave app, for example. It's an example of a really well-designed system control. Simple, intuitive operation with a full range of functions available from your phone and the option to customize the view. This is exactly what you need. And remember to check how the system control works before you invest in it. The B-Wave application itself is covered in an entire episode on the channel, so check it out later to learn more. Another important point is the capability to freely add new devices in the future. You should keep this in mind, especially for wired systems. Because if a few years after finishing your flat, you decide to add some devices and the control panel does not allow you to connect wireless ones, you'll have to chisel the walls. I already touched on this at the beginning of the episode when I said to choose a hybrid alarm control panel. This is because it allows you to integrate wired and wireless devices within a single system. These include SATEL's B-Wave Hybrid, Integra, and Perfecta 64M control panels. Adding alarm devices is one option for expanding your system, but there is another one: the implementation of smart home solutions as part of the alarm system. And here, you need to make a wise choice, because not all systems available on the market offer smart home functions in addition to alarm functions. SATEL offers a basic smart home system based on the Perfecta 64M control panel, while Integra provides more possibilities in this area, including the option of implementing highly advanced solutions in the KNX standard. B-Wave, on the other hand, be it wired, wireless, or hybrid, is a system which, like Integra, combines advanced smart home and alarm functions. Once you've answered these questions and decided on a specific manufacturer or system, all that remains is to pick the right equipment. In order to choose it properly, you need to look again at the specific features of your flat and the purpose of each room. The greatest risk of burglary in a flat is the same as in a house, through doors and windows. You can ensure their protection with opening or glass break detectors. Are you wondering if it's worth securing windows if your flat is located on the upper floors? If there's a balcony, then definitely yes. Apart from opening detectors on windows and doors, a motion detector will also be useful. It's recommended to install at least one motion detector in every room with a window. It's also advisable to consider installing motion detectors with a built-in camera, as this will give you a constant overview of what goes on in your home. Such a detector is available, for example, within the B-Wave device family. When the system is armed, it will automatically take a series of 3 photos when it detects a threat. It can also take pictures at the user's request. Just select the appropriate option in the app, and the photos will appear in the event log a moment later. Also, we strongly recommend installing smoke and carbon monoxide detectors to enhance safety. In some countries, such as Poland, these devices are already mandatory for newly constructed residential buildings. Regardless of whether smoke and carbon monoxide detectors are legally required in your country or not, equipping your flat with them is a wise decision. They truly save lives. I know that after this heavy dose of information, you may feel a little confused and think that alarms are a complicated topic. However, this doesn't need to be the case if you approach it correctly. In this episode, I wanted to tell you what to focus on and how to get ready for your research. And as for the final choice, do you remember how I said at the start that there's a way to make it easier for yourself? This is that moment. So, once you've thought about the issues we've discussed today and you've got a rough idea of what you want, go and consult a professional installer. They'll help you through the final stages, namely select specific devices and determine their number, and then install and configure the entire system. And finally, some good news. Statistics show a declining trend in the number of reported burglaries, especially in developed countries. This shows that awareness of the need for additional real estate security is growing and yielding results. We'll definitely keep sharing with you our knowledge and advice on protection. Hit that subscribe button and don't miss out on future content. See you next time. Bye!